We have 13 weeks of pure excitement, pure learning, pure sharing, doing business together, bonding.
Idea extraction is your bedrock to building a profitable business.
Your business has a value, you have worth, and you need to be able to set your price. No matter how great the product is, it has to be marketed. If you have the cure for cancer tomorrow and you don't market it, no lives will be saved. Think about the challenges that we have and why your product or service is going to fill that.
You are the brand. We have to find our own unique value proposition.
At the end of the day, business is about money. And the big question you're always going to get, who is going to pay for this and how much money is it going to actually produce?
The only thing that you need to do is not give up.
This is going to be an exciting ride, ladies.
Looking out for those things. That's one of the things visualization does for you. And to put visualization into action, there are 3 key things that you need to do. The first is to transition. Begin to live as if you've already achieved your goal. You have to talk like it. You got to dress like it. You have to look like it, sound and act like the person that you want to be. Do one task a day that brings you closer to your goals. If you leave yourself, you would give excuses for the next 12 months and you will never achieve any goal. However, if you break your tasks down and do one task every day that brings you closer to turning that idea into a business, then you would defeat procrastination and build consistency. Before you know it, it becomes a natural thing that grows with you. And as you lay your brick one by one, your business is moving up. And finally, daily affirmations. Speak positive words to yourself every day. If you want to see yourself in Forbes magazine, speak it. If you want to see your business as one of the top businesses in Canada, in the United States, in the world, you have to keep talking and affirming those things. You have to speak it until it becomes your reality. So we'll go to idea roadblocks. Have you ever nursed an idea for years? Or watched your peers go far in life while you're still in the same spot? Have you ever talked about what you want to do with your idea but no action? Have you seen your idea being implemented by others? Are you wondering why you're still stuck? The answer to these questions is what I call idea roadblocks. There are sometimes you really and genuinely want to do something, but you find yourself stuck in a position where you can't move forward. Now, let me tell you the 3 top things that could be causing your idea roadblock, and you have to eliminate those things from today. The first is fear. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I lose money? What if nobody patronizes me? But the truth is, the fear sometimes may never go. So you have to jump in and do it afraid. It's either you fall or maybe you can just fly. The next is imposter syndrome. You doubt your abilities and you don't even believe in yourself. You don't think you can do it. Now, who says you can't do it when you haven't even tried? This is how imposter syndrome holds you back. Self-sabotage. Personal behaviors and patterns that hold you back and prevent you from achieving your goals. Things like, oh, I'm not sure I should start this right now. The market is too saturated. Or maybe nobody in my family thinks this idea is good. So you keep telling yourself things that automatically hold you back, but you don't know that these are behaviors or patterns that you've created for yourself that constantly hold you back. Eliminate idea roadblocks and see how easily and quickly your ideas jump from start to growing a profitable business. Now we're going to go into the real thing after the slide. Idea extraction cycle. The first stage in idea extraction cycle is idea assessment. The next is researching your idea. After researching your idea, you validate, idea validation, product or service development. The next is structuring, and finally your launch. And when you now start cashing out on your from your ideas, that's the point where you achieve idea to profit. So let's take idea assessment. We're going to look at the first 3 in this training. Idea assessment. Everyone with an idea has three major questions running through their mind. As you're listening to me right now, I'm sure you've had one of these ideas at some point. One of these questions running through your mind at some point. Now, this is your idea, and you're wondering, will my idea work? The next thing, or the next question is, will people see value in my idea? And lastly, can I make money with this idea? Now, the idea assessment concept takes you through feasibility, acceptability, and profitability. Feasibility means, is this even going to work? Before you move into creating a business, you have to first understand or find out if your idea will be feasible. Will it be accepted in the market? Is it going to be profitable? Now, idea assessment takes you through finding out these three things before jumping right into a business. I always tell people when I do trainings that the first thing to do before starting a business is to lay the foundation, just like building a house. Idea extraction is your bedrock to building a profitable business. If you jump in without understanding these three concepts, then your business may be having some struggles in the future. Now, the assessment. With so many questions running through your mind about this idea, you're not quite sure how to begin. This is exactly why you need to do an assessment, because it will help you get clarity of your idea, get a clear direction of next steps to take to bring that idea to life. Identify the factors that will aid successful extraction and execution of your idea, and identify areas of strength where you need help. The image you see on the right is a tool that I created for aspiring business owners like you who want to go into a business and thinking of those three concepts, whether the idea will be profitable, feasible, or acceptable. This is my idea extraction tool. It's free and it's going to be accessible to you at the end of this training. Now, the assessment questions. These questions are questions that will help you to assess your idea and know whether it will be profitable, acceptable, or feasible. There are 10 major questions, but in this training, we're going to look at 6 because we don't have enough timing. When you get the idea assessment tool, you can go through the 10 questions. The first is your idea solving a problem? If you're going to build a business, you have to tie it around a problem. Your business must be solving a problem for it to be profitable and sustainable. It's not enough to just start a business. Sustainability is key, and it ultimately starts from if your idea is solving a problem. The next question is, have you identified the specific part of this problem that your idea is expected to solve? This is when you start hearing things like creating a niche. There are so many markets, and you hear lots of things about saturated markets. However, if you can carve a niche for yourself, you'll be able to get a good size of the market that can still make your business profitable. It starts with this question, identifying the specific part of that problem. The third question is, have you considered all the advantages or the benefits of the idea? Does it offer value? Is there a need for it? Value is very important. For business to be profitable, your business must be offering value to customers. The fourth question is, have you identified the people whose problem your idea is a solution to? Yes, you know the idea. Yes, you know the niche, and you know what benefits you need to offer, but who are these people who are going to pay? Without people paying for your products and services, there is no business. So you need to identify where those people are. Who are they? What are their needs? Where can I find them? Number 5 is, do you know what drives their purchase decisions in relation to this problem? And lastly, do you know where to find these people and what they think of your solution? Assessment leads us right into research, because for you to answer those questions we just saw, you have to do a proper research. Now, the first place we go to is Google. Google is your best friend. It gives you a lot of information about your ideas. That's the first place you go to. Now, the first things you need to find out is someone already doing what my idea is doing when you're doing your research. Are they established and doing it well? Is the current solution the same as your idea, or do you have a different angle you want to come in with? What ways can you do things better or different? Is there a real demand for this product or service? Can I make profit based on the demand? And how frequently do people patronize businesses in this industry each year? You want to know that this is an industry that is profitable. This is an industry that I can build a business on. And you have to research your market. The first market research you do is understanding the market size. This is the number of potential customers and revenue size for your business. It gives you an idea of how big the market is and potential sales volume. When you understand your market size, it helps you to plan. It helps you to understand what you're going into. It helps you to prepare as well for any kind of market trends or changes that may happen in the market. Then the market growth rate. This is the increase in size or sales of a market over a given period of time. Indicators such as the number of customers, size of purchases per client, etc. can be used to estimate market growth rates. You don't want to get stuck in a business that is in a market that is not growing. That wouldn't be a good thing. And lastly, market trends. This measures any trends in the market that could be used to map your business in relation to where the market is going. Technology has been a very strong market trend that has changed a lot in different industries. You have to keep abreast with the technology the technology of all the things that are happening in the market that you're going into. Is there a new tool in the market? Is there a new technology that you need to use to implement your work? You have to be up to date. And then climate change. I will use example of the pandemic, which affected a lot of industries. They didn't see that coming. So most times when you do your market research, you also have to look in the future. What are the outlooks, economic outlook? What is going to happen in this market? What are the predictions over time? It's very important to do this research. Then idea validation. What is idea validation and why do we need to do it? Idea validation is a process of testing whether or not your idea for a business is worth pursuing or not. And it helps you identify if there is a problem solution fit before building the actual business. It also proves the market need and willingness for customers to pay. What do I mean by problem solution fit? Remember when I said your idea must be solving a problem. Now, just like a square peg and a round hole, when you put a square peg in a round hole, it doesn't fit. For you to achieve problem solution fit, your solution with your idea must be a perfect match with the problem that the people are facing. If not, you would have created a product that is not needed in the market or that people are not willing to pay for. So why do you need idea validation? It helps you do the following to test if your idea works or not, if people will be willing to pay. It also reduces the risk of launching the wrong idea and starting all over again. It helps you minimize wastage by saving valuable time, effort, and money. It gives you a head start into the mind of your potential customers. It proves that your idea has a real demand and an available target market. It also helps you to see if the timing is right for that particular business. These 6 things listed here are the top important reasons why you need to do idea validation. Because once money goes into building a business and you don't achieve your goal, it can be frustrating. It can really be annoying. So before you jump right in and put your money, invest your time, your effort, you need to do a validation. So let's look at the concept of idea validation. The first is a problem statement. Every great company starts by solving an important problem. And a problem statement is a clear description of a current issue or problem that requires timely action or solution. It also forms the basis of building a business idea. And lastly, the next one is problem solution fit. If you see the image there, you can see the image of 2 shapes trying to connect and form a perfect fit. Now, before investing your effort towards building an idea, the first is to determine if it is actually worth doing. You want to be sure that your idea will be a valuable solution to the problem your target customers are facing. Money gravitates towards value. Business is all about value. Whatever you are doing, whatever you're creating in your business, you have to understand that value is what will help you achieve problem solution fit. Without value, people will not be willing to pay. That's why you hear things like value for money. Now, let's look at some examples of problem statement. For example, Netflix and Uber, we know these two great companies, and they have really solved serious problems that people were going through. Imagine we had a pandemic without something like Netflix. It would be so boring not being able to go out and go into the cinema. Now, Netflix problem statement was that going to the movies requires fighting traffic, wandering the aisle, and waiting in long lines just to get a single movie. They've been able to put all those problems into a statement that would give them a view into how to create the solution that will create value for people. Uber, finding a taxi is very difficult, and most times you have to wait for very long hours before finding one, which is very true. These days, wherever location you go to, whichever country you go to, all you need to do is just whip out your phone at the touch of the keypads. Your problem is solved. So when you're thinking about your idea right now, what problems are the people that you want to pay you facing? How would you compound this into a statement that would give you a bird's eye view to understand how to create a product or service that would solve that problem? And how to validate your idea. You want to be sure that your idea will be valuable. And to do this effectively, you will need to get into the minds of the people and find answers to these questions. For you to validate, you actually need to hear from your potential customers. And you do this by conducting interviews, using free survey tools like Typeform, Google Forms, SurveyMonkey. Typeform is the one that I actually like. It's quite advanced and it makes it fun when you're using it. So I use it, but Google Form is straight away very easy. SurveyMonkey also very easy and simple. Now, the 7 important things customers want to know when you're creating your survey to get into their minds. You have to craft your questions around these 7 things that they want to find out. And also, you should be asking them open-ended questions as opposed to questions that they will answer with yes, no. Those questions that are going to give you, the answers to closed questions will not help you. But when you ask open-ended questions, then they will tell you exactly what is in your mind, and it will help you to create a product that would solve their needs. So the first thing is, what product, service are you selling? Is it of good quality? What is it made of? How will it benefit me? Why should I buy it? Will it solve my problem? And will it be better than the solution I'm currently using? Now, that last question, you need to know that before you go into this business and create your product or service, so many other people have been doing what you're doing. Now you need to show how yours is going to be unique. You need to have a competitive advantage in the market. You need to have something unique about what you're bringing into the market. And customers want to know, why should I leave this current solution that I'm using to buy yours? What are you offering? What is yours bringing that is different from what I'm currently using? So when you're crafting your questions, you have to find a way to infuse these things and let them speak back to you. That's how you get into their minds. And last thing on the idea extraction cycle we'll look at today is product development. Sorry, I hope I haven't used much of my time. So after assessing and researching and validating your idea, you can now extract your findings and build product or service of value that has a high demand with a readily accessible market. To build your product, define your value proposition. How will you meet your customers' needs better than your competitors? Of all the needs you can address with your product, which ones are you going to focus on? Then your MVP feature set. MVP means minimum viable products. This is the first version of your product that you release into the market. What features are needed to create enough value for your target customers to validate the direction of your product? So for example, let's use a phone company. So Apple is creating a new phone. What features do they want to integrate into this phone to give customers value? Which is why of every upgrade of this technology products, there is something in the next one that was not in the previous one. So what are the features? There's a feature that Apple or Samsung or all those companies will put into the next upgrade to make you want to buy, because you're like, oh my God, that is a feature that I really need. I need to get the next version of that phone. So what features are you going to integrate into creating your product to make your potential clients say, oh, I'm going to leave this other person and patronize you as a business owner? This applies to both product businesses and service-based businesses. So if your business is a service business, you can also list out all the features that you need to put into your service to make your potential customers buy from you. This will help you with the direction of how to create your product or service. And lastly, go ahead and create a prototype. So for example, you can make a landing page, you can create sketches, you can do a graphical representation of what your product or service is going to be, and release it into the market to get feedback from your customers. So the first people you start releasing your product or service to is those people who have responded to your survey. Another thing that this validation helps you to do is it gives you your first potential clients, as opposed to you just starting a business without anybody doing what you're doing or without having people to run things through. So when you've created your prototype, you now go back to those people who have answered your survey, like, we have something in the market, try this, and we would like to hear from you. What is your feedback? After you've created this MVP prototype, the feedback that they give you will now help you to create the final product. So everything that I've said here is just a brief into the whole of idea extraction. It's very it's a very large topic. So let's do a quick recap of everything I've talked about. What you need to take home with today is the first thing you need to do if you want to turn your idea into a profitable business is frame your idea as a problem that people are currently facing. Identify who experiences this problem the most. Create a problem statement to guide you with research on what your solution will be. Conduct extensive research on this problem and how your idea will solve it. And lastly, extract your findings and build a product or service of value to solve that problem. So thank you guys. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Linda. This has been very insightful and very in-depth. Can you all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So any questions?
Yes. If you have any questions, you can just unmute yourself and ask. Otherwise, some people sent me some questions privately, and I can just read out. Okay, while we wait for... Is this happening again? Okay, while we'll wait for people to ask, there was one question here that I took note of, and that was around clarity of idea. I think you spoke about idea clarity, and someone shared about the fact that there's usually this fear that ideas will be stolen when they want to clarify the idea in that process. So how would you approach that? How would you frame the execution of that?
Okay, so a lot of people are scared about their ideas being stolen, but the truth is that idea that you have, you're not the only one who has it. At the same time you're thinking about that idea, or before or after you have thought about it, at least about 10 other people are thinking about this idea. The only difference is going to be execution. So the way you execute your idea and bring it to life is never going to be the same with someone else. So about ideas getting stolen, they can steal your idea, but they can't steal your implementation or execution process. So that's just the way to go around it. This, especially, I don't know if you know, like Silicon Valley, or when people pitch on their businesses. So I've been in a lot of pitches and competitions, but I'll be honest with you, there are sometimes that you meet people and you're like, oh my God, I didn't know someone else was, thinking in this direction. Someone you've never met before, you don't know anything about them, but then you get there and you find out that they actually are thinking of something exactly like what you're doing. So before I got into the Forbes competition, I thought I was the only one doing what I was doing in Nigeria. In fact, I thought I was the only one doing it in Africa, until I found out about two other people were doing it, one in Uganda and another one in Nigeria. And I had never met these people, but implementation and execution is very different. And the way, maybe you are doing yours in a different niche, but in the same industry. So it can never be the same. There are always different execution methods and strategies. So don't be worried. Yours is still going to find, like, you will still be able to find your customers, your clients. And as long as you put in your magic, you still have your personal touch and your magic to how you do things, you're good to go.
Fantastic.
Welcome.
I feel like I'm hearing myself.
I can hear you though.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question is around market research for small businesses. How do we execute market research to an in-depth degree when I am a small business? Just to flesh out this question, a lot of small businesses are like either operating with really limited personnel or limited human resource, and we know how heavy market research can be. How would you approach like market research when you have very small capacity?
So I would say market research really is never going to end. As long as your business continues, even Coca-Cola till today, Apple does research. Market research is an ongoing process. It continues going. So I would say take it one step at a time. So if you're starting out small, do the best that you can. And what I just showed you right now is only one aspect of market research. It's a lot deeper. There's competitor analysis, there's a personal analysis. There are so many other aspects of research. Research is very wide. So you take the chunk you can at your pace. You pace yourself. However, as your company grows, you are going to continue doing research because you don't want to stop at where you are currently. You don't want to remain a small business. You want to grow from that level. So you want to find out, what next can I do? How can I do better? How can I serve my customers better? How can I make my business better to compete with other businesses in this industry? So it's a continuous process, but don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Take it at your pace. As long as you know that you are making progress, you just have to continue. And if you get to the point where your business can eventually pay someone to do the research, then you can pay someone. That's why a lot of companies have the R&D team, research and development. It's an ongoing process.
Thank you. Claudia, I think you have a question. You can unmute yourself and ask.
Okay.
Hi, I have a question. I'm not too sure if you can hear me.
I can hear you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Kezia. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to do your presentation. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
So my question is about the research aspect as well. What sources do you, like, I know that you suggested Google, but Google has a lot of information and sometimes the information can be inaccurate or it could be outdated. Do you have any suggestions for good resources that we can use in order to find more information about market size, market industries, growth rates, trends, those type of things?
Yeah. Okay, thanks for that question. So Google really is just to give you a head start. Yeah, but when it comes to those details about market growth rate, market size, those are key informations that you can only find from some organizations. So for example, when you're doing your market research, look out for statistics or data from organizations like United Nations, look out from so basically, even if you're on Google, why I said Google is because Google would give you the head start, like I said. But these are statistics that organizations that are, already trusted would give you. Another place you can go, I would say Quora. Quora is a forum where you can find a lot of information, but about tools per se. So after the training today, I'm going to send Uju some materials, and I can add that to some of the things that I will share with you, if that's okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And if I could add to that, in terms of gathering data, that's Statista here. That is really
Yes, Statista is one of them.
It's in their information. And then in terms of Google, I agree. Google is like a maze, but some Google Trends has been very helpful in just really highlighting what the trends in your niche is. And then just getting deep in depth into how customer preferences are fluctuating and changing depending on the timing, especially post-COVID.
Yeah, Google
Claudia,
Trend actually. Okay, sorry.
go ahead, sorry.
Okay, sorry. So Google Trend actually also helps you to know the demand of your product or service. So when you go in there and you see how many people have searched for your product or the industry in maybe the last 30 days, the last 6 months, it gives you an idea that there is a market. It gives you that confidence that you're creating something that people are actually, looking for solution to. So yeah, Google Trend is also good.
Yes, Kezia, I know this is your first time, so I would really advise you to stay on for, I believe that's week 5, where we're going to have someone from Google as well, just to highlight the key things that small business owner, the key tools and resources the small business owner should really not do without. Claudia, I know your hands have been raised for quite a while, or is that a mistake?
No, it was not a mistake, and it shows you how patient I am.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead, ask your question.
That's all right. And actually, Linda, I didn't have a question. I just wanted to congratulate you on what you've achieved over the past few years, and to thank you for sharing that with us. I especially loved. You're welcome. But I especially loved how you introduced yourself, whereby stating the achievements and noting that was over the last 2 to 3 years. That was very effective. And I know that's one of the big things I'm going to take from tonight. So thank you.
Thank you too. You're welcome.
Okay, so I have one more question, and that is around idea validation after a product has launched. So is there, this is someone on call asking, is there a set time where you do idea validation, or can it be done after the product or service has been launched?
Okay, so there is idea validation and there's product validation. For product validation, that's called product market fit. Yeah, so you need to do idea validation before you go into creating your business. When you do idea validation, it helps you to reduce some of the mistakes that you would have made when you start this business, because validating an idea ultimately saves you, it saves you a lot of stress in the future of your business. We already know that building a business can be stressful, but idea validation reduces that stress at least to 50%. It takes off a lot of work from you. So validate your idea before you build the first prototype. Your MVP is going to be the first version of what you launch into the market. So creating a prototype or an MVP would help you to now get to the stage of product validation. So product validation is the second part. So I also have a course, idea extraction course, which is a 6-module course that explains all of this in details with worksheets, assignments, and projects and things that can help you to understand it better. It's not like, I don't have enough time to, explain everything. But idea extraction course is very full. And if you want to be a part of it later, you can send me a message. I'm going to share my social media handle so we can stay connected. I also have some assignments for you to take home after this training today. So are there more questions though? Sorry.
I do have a question, but first I want to say you're awesome.
Thank you.
I'm so inspired. This is just great. And I just want to say to the group, success leaves clues. Like here, Linda is in Nigeria and it's what, midnight there or 1 o'clock? But
yeah,
she
it's
is
almost 1
here.
o'clock.
She's delivered an incredible presentation. She's on brand. She's ready. She's ready to do business. And that's what we need to be all the time, every time. And so my question to you is, at what point did you recognize, or there's a critical moment when you recognize my business is now going into the acceleration phase, when it turns? At what point in your business did you recognize that?
Okay, so for me, the first thing that actually happened was when I started getting, so you will be tracking your sales, you will track your revenue generation, and you will track your customer portfolio, your clientele. So when you start seeing that your customers are increasing, and not just new customers, but you keep getting repeat customers and new referrals, and then your revenue is growing. So when you see that it's going this way, then you know that your business is getting to that stage where it becomes a big business. Which is why I also tell people, after going through idea extraction, the last thing that I say is build your business plan and have your financial projections. So at the in my course, I make sure that the final project, you build your business plan. You go through that whole process, understand what you are doing, because if you understand your business plan, it helps you to plan towards your financials, because your financials is key. You're in business to make money. So when you see that your projections are coming into place, so you have a projection in the next 2 to 3 years, I want this business to be making so $1,000 or $1 million, and this and this and this is what I want to do, or how I want to achieve that. So you start planning to achieve that. If you're selling a high product, a luxury kind of product, how many customers would you sell those products to in the next how many years to get to your goal? If you're selling maybe a regular commercial product, how many customers are you targeting and how do you want to get there? So as you grow, you measure. As you grow, you measure. So if you don't have something that you're working towards, you will never know when your business is growing. So you need to know and keep track and measure your growth. I think I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Fantastic. Do we have any other questions? It's interesting that you mentioned having a business plan like right after ideation, and also having that financial plan and having the goals and projections, because we do have that literally week 2 and week 3 of and so that's going to be really exciting. And so all 7 and something of us here today, I really hope that I'll see you guys next week as well, because we're really going to be we have facilitators who are going to come walk with us in the trenches to really build out that plan, share templates, simple templates that we can work with to build a business plan as well as financial plan, which is in week 3, I believe. So thank you. Is there any other question? I'm just looking through my DMs now to see if there's...
Let me see if I can. So let me share the assignment. So I've like I said, okay, I think I've already shared this slide with you. So this is the assignment you have to do to, after this class. I think you should try and do some of this assignment. And the tools that I have that can help you, the idea assessment tool, then I have an idea extraction toolkit that would give you some of the things that would help you to achieve, extracting your idea. And finally, this is the full course. If you can think it, it can be extracted and you can cash it. That's the motto for my course. So if you like to be a part of the course, let me know or let Uju know. So these are my social media handles, and I would like to connect with you. Let me know you're from BPA, and I'll give you a special shout out. So
sorry, I think I have one more question here.
Oh, one more question. Oh, sorry. Okay.
It says, what advice would you have for people who want to start a business in another country? Say someone in Canada who wants to do business in Nigeria.
Okay. So understanding the market where you want to start your business is very important. There's something called pestle analysis, which helps you to analyze the environment where you're going to set up a business, irrespective of where you are. Conduct pestle analysis. Pestle analysis helps you to understand the political, the economical, the social, technological, legal, and environmental factors that could impact your business in the region that you have selected. And most important thing that you want to do is to find out what are the requirements of doing business in that country. And you can look up the ease of doing business rate. Ease of doing business ranking. I don't know if any of us know about it. So ease of doing business ranking will help you know how easily it is to set up a business in the country where you want to start your business. So it's to tell you all the things you need to do, from registration, from the legal requirements to the taxes. So these are all, like I said, market research is very deep, is very wide, because you need to understand all of this before setting up a business. So for example, in Nigeria, the bike hailing business as at last year took a downward projection because the government stopped all those kind of businesses. Businesses like GoCada had to pivot and start doing something else. So you also want to know that the environment or the country where you want to go set up a business is not planning to do something in the next 2 to 3 years, which is why I talked about economic outlook. It's always important to have, to know economic outlook of every country. So there are projections, 2 to 3 years projections. For example, we're in 2021, but they're having projections about what will happen in the Nigeria economy in the next 3 to 5 years. So organizations like PwC, KPMG, EY, they put out this economic outlooks, and other economists also write this information. So that gives you an understanding, a head start into what is required in that country for your business. Another part of market research, which let me just give a bit of it, but this is compounded in the idea extraction course, is understanding your customer segment. Now, it's not enough to just know the region where you're going to start up a business, but the customers in that country, how do they feel about this particular product? Is this something that people actually use? So you want to also segment your customers, create your customers into different segments, the region, their age, their income size. These are there are so many things to understand, before starting a business. So idea extraction is very, very, very important. Is laying the right foundation. So when the wind blows in business, it's just like building a house. You can't create a foundation for a bungalow and want to build a skyscraper. It's not going to work. You have to lay the right foundation, understand everything that you need to understand before building your business. So whatever happens, you will withstand it, and build contingency plans that will still keep your business afloat. I hope that answered the question.
I believe so. She texted the question, so yeah. But thank you so much. This has been uber fantastic. We have a lot of comments coming in saying how much they love the presentation.
Hello?
And for those who are asking, the presentation will be emailed.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So for those who are asking, the presentation will be emailed to every single one of us. So that's don't worry about it. But we don't want to take any more of your time. I know we've crossed time already. So thank you so much for staying up this late and just for adding value to all of us here. We appreciate you, and hopefully we can see you again.
Yeah, hopefully. Hope to join you again
Yeah.
sometime.
Exactly, because we still have like 12 more weeks to go. So
Okay.
thank you. We're going to let you go now, but the program is still on for another 45 minutes. So if you still want to stay, fine, but I know that you want to sleep. So
yeah,
thank you.
thank you so much for having me. This was definitely fun. And all right, take care then. Bye.
Bye. Awesome. Yes, so we're just going to continue. Today has been, thank you everyone. I can see like we're about 7 or 8 of us in the room. Thank you for staying on. That presentation was great. We have Linda's handle, and I'll also put her email down if you want to reach her and ask any questions. But this is just the first week. And so the next 12 weeks is going to be like super impactful, and that's the hope. There's also an assignment on that presentation, which we'll be sending to you tonight or tomorrow morning. So it would really be helpful to you and your business as well, if you can do the assignments before the next week. And now I'll hand it over to Nadine. I'm actually surprised that she's still here because she wasn't feeling very well earlier today. So everyone send virtual hugs to Nadine, because
there's magic in the red lipstick. There's power and magic in the red lipstick. Not. I put the red lipstick on and that's it. I sat down and I'm good to go. And you know what? I'm not feeling so well today, but what excites me, and I'm so glad I stayed, because Linda's presentation was dynamic. It's such great value. And Uju, you'll find out how much her course is, but I think we're going to figure out what we can do to maybe incorporate to see how many of us could participate in her course. I would love to get her book. So again, I'm going to do my usual, who puts their bio into the chat first, for a chance to get one of Linda's books. I should put mine in because I would like one. So if you're able to send us your bio into the chat, as we do sometimes, we will, for up to 5 women that put their bios in first, who's got a bio, or we'll do 2 things, either a bio or a professional photo, drop them in. The first 5. I
already see the first person.
and you've got a book, and you've got one of Linda's books, because again, very impressive. One of the things that has inspired me about working with dynamic women like Uju, like Linda, the women on this call, your car gal, Claudia. I need to get a new car, so we have to talk about that as well. And I finally decided, and it is the inspiration I pull from each and every one of us. It's guys, I can't begin to tell you, what this means to me, as much as you are here learning as well. And just know that success leaves clues. In the spirit of mentorship online, a lot of people talk about, the 10 people they like best and they follow them. That's one of the tricks that I use. I find 10 individuals that I absolutely respect, admire online, and I just see what they're doing. I see what they're doing. I see their path. I see, their regime. They work out, they read these books, because success does leave clues. And if you pick up on those clues, you too can ascend in that same path. And again, Linda is a great example. Her presentation tonight is just dynamic, and she had a lot of gems that she put out. And I just want to sort of hone in on some of them. One, understand your business plan. That is so critical and so key. The business plan is your roadmap. Many times as an entrepreneur, as you're going through, you may lose your way, you may, deviate somehow, but when you go back to that business plan, you're reminded as to where you're going and what the goal is. She talked about relationships, and I love the way she opened, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." I think that's gonna be my song in the mornings now. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. we have to let it shine. You know, as you all know, I'm a Christian woman, and one of the quotes that I love from the Bible, it says that is a city, and I have to find the right quotes, but I'm paraphrasing. A city that is on a hill cannot be hidden. And the explanation of that is that if you're filled with light and you're on a hill, you cannot be hidden. You will shine. We will shine. And so that is an important thing, because in the entrepreneur's journey, we're going to have, it's cyclical. We're going to have days where it's up and days where it's down. And in my first session, I talked to you about my happy folder. I have a happy folder, and I was given that advice a long time ago by a friend of mine that said, Nadine, you're on a trajectory up, but in that trajectory up, you're going to have days when it's sad and it's down, and you're going to need to reference that happy folder for days when you need inspiration. So I have a folder in my drawer, and now I keep my happy folder on my phone, and days when I need that pickup, I look in that folder. And as I store now, you know, other people have their vision boards, but in mine, I've got songs, I've got things that just when you need it, it just picks you up and it takes you through. So I like that, this little light of mine. She talked about that I really had, her whole idea about the idea assessment, idea roadblocks, key cornerstones. You know, I think when we take the course or when we get the book, we're going to look, or maybe Uju, we can get her to come back in another session and really delve deeper into that, because I think there's a lot to unpack there. And then she says, you know, for a business to be profitable, we must offer value to our customers. We must offer value to our customers. And what is it we're solving? Yeah, there's a lot of different businesses, but what is it we're solving? So for example, Claudia, she's your car gal. That's it. So she's solving a need when you need a car and you want someone who's going to care and really go through all your reasons why and all the wonderful things she does. That is her unique value proposition. She says it, I'm your car gal. That's me, you know? So she's solving a particular problem in a niche that's very competitive. But you know, what's interesting is that whenever I hear someone and they say they're thinking of a car, I think about her. Just because of that tagline that she's got and her personality. So we have to think about what is the niche, what is the need that we're solving to our audience. And then she talked about a target market. As you all know, I talk about audience persona in the world of marketing. We never create a campaign. We don't do anything without thinking, who is this for? When we do that deck that Uja presents to you each week, we're very clear, who is it for? We're very clear on our target market. And it's really important that as you're creating your business plan and as you're creating even your financial statement, all of the things that you are doing in your business and you're setting your goals, you must think about, who is this for? Who is this for? You know, because when you create when you think about who is it for, you'll think about the challenges that we have and why your product or service is going to fill that need. So the target market is very important. And, you know, business is about value. Very key. And one of the things that I love is Google. Google's your best friend. I love Google for many reasons. There isn't anything you need on this world that you cannot not ask Google. If you want to find a rich husband, you can ask Google. There is, you know, they say there's two G's, there's God and there's Google. Okay. And while God is forgiving, sadly, Google is not. So we have to be very careful what we put on what's out there on Google. But when you look at resources, Google is really a vast resource. And yes, of course, you have to always look at the other side of things. But you know what? One of the things that I loved about what Linda said today is the essential need to always, the quest to always be learning, the quest to always be doing research, because the market goes so quickly. And the only way we're going to be able to tap into the resources that's available is continually learning and looking at what's out there. So this is going to be an exciting ride, ladies. We have 13 weeks of pure excitement, pure learning, pure sharing, doing business together, bonding. There's a lot of research. How many of you so far have participated in the Rise Up pitch competition that we're doing with Ryerson, where the grand prize is $10,000? We had announced that a while back. None of you participated. Put your hand up. Let me see some hands. Nobody here? Oh my!
You participated. I know Nettie sent her in.
Nettie did. Good for you, Nettie. And I see Janelle as well. That's great. Guys, and perfect. We're developing some key partners, some key partnerships, Loblaw, BDC, BMO. We have Futurepreneur that they'll be coming on 1 week. Whenever there's an opportunity, just jump in. jump right in, because that person will get $10,000, not just the $10,000, but the exposure. But these are the partnerships we're forging for all of us today. So we're going to have a few people tell their story, but I'm going to call out on some people. I'm just going to call your name and I'm going to ask you a question. And the question that I have for you is, how can I help you? How can I, Nadine Spencer, president of the BBPA, CEO of Brandy Q Agency, what can I do for you? So, Shakara, what can I do for you?
I think my biggest issue is that I'm worried that I'm going to get too wrapped up in the research, because like she said, you can do research forever, but I don't know, like when is the time to take the next step?
Okay, so how can I help you on your journey? We're on a journey now. What can I do to help you on your journey?
I think resources is a good one. I think we mentioned in the presentation that a lot of us are running small businesses, so sometimes it's hard to find the market research, I guess, for your specific niche. So I guess figuring out where the best places to find those resources would be great.
Great. Okay, so we'll put that down and we'll have that. So I'm going to ask, who else wants to tell me what I can do for them? Nettie, did your hand go up for that, or was your hand up already from before? Okay, we have Yugoana. I apologize if I'm not saying that correct. So Yugoana, can you tell me?
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Hi.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. Personally, where I am in the journey of my business. Meanwhile, I was very happy to have listened to Linda. Linda is really my personal coach or my business coach. That said, where I am in my business journey now is that I'm trying to expand my business. I have a target market. My business is that what I do basically is that I process smoked catfish. I make it easy for people to access freshly smoked catfish or freshly and hygienically smoked catfish. My business was given birth to as a result of an experience I had over a long time ago, having to buy a carton of fish for Christmas and noticing that all already had mold inside. So because of that, I now decided to start thinking of how to make it easy for people to get freshly and hygienically smoked catfish. So that's basically what I do, and it's been an interesting journey. So where I am in the journey of my business is trying to expand my customer base, because my target market basically is busy professionals, those that are not able to go to the markets often to source it, and those that are healthy food seekers, those that want fish but they want it hygienically processed. They don't want it already molded. They don't want it already fly infested and all. So they want it fresh and hygienically smoked. So I know there are so many people that need the product, so many people that want fish very fresh. I'm also trying to develop a market of Nigerians that live in diaspora, because I know a lot of them do not get to, it's not easy for them to source freshly smoked catfish. It's a market that I'm trying to also develop. I have a few of those customers, so I'm trying to also develop it. I notice also that my business has a lot of third-party dependencies. I'm also trying to cut off that. So those are that's where I am in my business. Those the things I'm looking for. Like I want to be able to smoke myself instead of outsourcing it. I also deliver. Now I use a delivery companies. At times you experience disappointment. So those are the third party dependencies I'm looking at also cutting off.
Great, thank you. Where are you where are you located?
Okay, Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, okay, yeah. Thank you. So so Uju, we're going to definitely have to expand our resource reach. Absolutely. But thank you very much for sharing. And you know, we're all part of a WhatsApp group. So if you'd like to be added to that WhatsApp group so we can connect, network, build relationships with each other, please send your info to Uju. And you know, and this cohort, what I'd like us to do as well, we're going to create a BBPA Boss Women page on the website. There is one already, and we're going to add to that our squares of our businesses together for this group. And so also just send that information, and as we're building it out, you will be featured on the Boss Women's page. And also on the BBPA business directory, please send your business there and please add your business to the directory as well. All right, thank you so much, Ugonwana. Can you pronounce your name for me?
Okay, Ugonwa. Or you can just make it easy, you can just say Ugo.
Okay, Ugonwa. Okay. No, I'm going to try to say it right. Ugonwa. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
and
that's a fair attempt.
Okay, great. Thank you. So next we have Kiza or Kezia?
Kezia.
Kezia?
I think for me, so yeah, this is actually my first time being part of this program, so I'm learning a lot. I don't have a business as of yet, but I'm always someone that's always thinking of a million things I would like to do. And I think my biggest issue right now is I do self-sabotage. I think when Linda was talking about that, I felt like she was talking to me. I felt like, you know, I get in my own way, or a lot of my fear of failure gets in the way. My fear of what my ideas are, potentially not profiting, or, you know, me potentially embarrassing myself with trying and failing. Those are the things that are really in my mind and is preventing me from really moving forward with some of my dreams. So motivation on that front, I think, is the most helpful thing, because I feel like it's kind of like a hurdle that's preventing me from really moving forward with anything else. So any tips on that or any support around that would be super beneficial.
Okay, great, thank you. You know, and also one of the things that's come out of the pitch that I negotiated for was that we would have coaching sessions, some coaching sessions given to some of the women in this group. Uju will figure out a creative way of how to do that and get it. But, you know, since you're the first one that asked, you can certainly we'll put you on that list to get the coaching sessions, because, you know, the whole goal of this program is to enrich, support, and give help to all of us, so we can move the needle forward as we grow our business. So thank you for asking that question, and we will definitely connect back with you. Okay, the next question we have, I'm just putting the list on the chat. So we have Nettie, then Dami, and then Jessica. Go ahead, Nettie.
Thank you, Nadine. So what I really, really would like from you is help with marketing. I believe I've done some research. Maybe you might think it's not enough, but I really think I have to get out there. I need help with developing a very dynamic website and Instagram, so I can go out there and reach more people. I do have my target market in mind, but I still think I have room to go and let other people know. And hopefully by then, by doing that, I can impress my target market, because I know there'll be a lot of work needed from my end to get into their space. So that's where I really think I need help, is market visibility, getting myself out there. As you know, I do hot sauce. If you walk into supermarkets, there's tons of hot sauce in there. So I have to make myself, like you say, I know my niche market, so I have to make myself visible, not necessarily in all the supermarkets, because that's not where I want to be. So that's where I need help, and we can talk about that more on a one-on-one basis, but that's
Yes,
where we need the help.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Neti. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And definitely. So Uju, you're making a list of all these for me, please. With yeah, and so we'll follow up with these individual needs. And then we have Dami.
Hi, Nadine. Thank you so much for the opportunity. So I founded a company called Cranberry, and what we do is sustainable baby products. So like baby towels, reusable nursing pads. And we've worked pretty hard on educating people and just trying to get them, especially when it comes to nursing pads, instead of using disposable nursing pads that you can get through loads of them, it ends up in landfill, and you're wasting money. Whereas if you use reusable ones, you just wash them and you use them over again. So far, the business has been going okay, but it's not quite where I want it to be. And from my customers that have used the products, we get great feedback. They want more colors. But then what I'm finding is, for what I have currently, yes, I've got people buying, but they're not, I feel like I need more exposure. And I've tried marketing, like Nettie just said. So I've done marketing, I've done Instagram marketing. So far it sells pretty well in Nigeria, just off Instagram marketing. But I find in Canada, all I get is likes. So they just they follow, but they're not parting with their cash. But when I give people or close friends who buy it, or people who gift our products to their friends, the feedback is, I didn't know I needed this. And so it's just getting the product into more hands and for people to see it for what it can actually do. And secondly, at the moment, I'm being forced, for lack of a better word, to manufacture in China. And it is my greatest desire to bring it closer to home, do it in Canada, maybe the US, Mexico, somewhere just closer. But from contacting manufacturers, most of them have ridiculous minimum quantities. One actually told me I needed to buy like a whole container of one product. And as a small business, scaling this is nearly impossible. Like the dream is dead before it even starts. And so for now, we're looking at, we're staying in China, but it's a great desire of mine, especially as a company focusing on sustainability and cutting down on carbon emissions. It'll be great if we can do it somewhere closer to home. So if there's some sort of directory somewhere with businesses or manufacturers in Canada that are open to helping small businesses, or if there are any tips whatsoever, I would be very grateful for those.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And again, we'll take your name and your specific needs and niche, and we'll and connect with you again. Okay. So Jessica.
Hi, my name's Jessica. I run a consultancy business. Simply, it looks at going into both private and public organizations and doing anti-Black racism work, capacity building, individual capacity building, education, so on and so forth. Now, I've kind of set up the marketing, the website, and I have a couple clients, and they've come from my warm market, but I'm wanting some support or even guidance in terms of new client acquisition and creating that process for that funnel, and in finding new clients. So that way I'm not always kind of going out and hunting new clients down, and that they kind of goes the other way. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. And again, we have some experts that will be coming in. When I hear your response and Hetty's response and also Dami's response, we're going to bring Billy back, right, Uju? We're going to get Billy to come back, and we're going to get Danielle to come in as well, because again, entrepreneurs that have launched their business and they've done it with building an online tribe. One of the things that I recognize as a value proposition to business, personally, I believe that marketing can solve the world's problems, hence week 5. When I talk about, why Viagra still spends money on marketing, it's because it's important. They don't want to lose market share. They want to capture new audiences. But if you have the cure for cancer tomorrow and you don't market it, no lives will be saved, because no matter how great the product is, it has to be marketed. And I've seen products that are not great, but a lot of money is put into them in marketing, and they do very well. So that's going to be one of the areas that we strongly focus on. As you know, I head a strategic marketing communications agency, and a lot of the success that we've had is because we continually market. A lot of the success our clients have had, even the BBPA, is because of the marketing. So I rest my laurels on that. It's the most important part of a business, in my humble opinion. And so now we have Shay. Shay, are you still here, Shayla?
Yes, I'm still here. Good evening, everyone. It's really nice to see everyone here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. So basically, I'm interested in doing private practice. I'm a social worker and I do counseling with an EAP. And I've been doing it for about 5 years. And then now I'm thinking this is the year that I need to get out there. I'm open to working with a lot of populations, but mainly Christian counseling. That's what I'm thinking to go into. And I have absolutely zero skill set when it comes to marketing. I don't even know where to start. And so just basically, how do I transition into private practice from being an employee? But I'm open to learning how to be an entrepreneur and developing the mindset necessary. Because in the helping profession, I feel like I'm just like, I want to help, but I don't want to charge. I know it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, and so I'll share a quick story with you before I go on to Makisha. Many years ago, when I was in the food distribution business, and we got products on the Oprah list, and you think to yourself, I mean, Hetty, if you got your product on the Oprah list, I'm sure you'd be like made, right? But even for clients who got their products on the Oprah list, if it wasn't supported by marketing, you weren't going to sell any product, right? So that's how critical marketing is. And so I lost my train of thought completely. Oh my goodness. I lost my train of thought. I was going to share this brilliant story, but I don't remember now. So I'm going to continue until I remember.
Oprah list, no?
Pardon?
You mentioned the Oprah list.
Yeah.
I know I was talking about zero idea on how to market, wanting to help, but not wanting to charge. I don't know if that would.
I remember now. Thank you so much. Yes, I remember that. And so as I was going through with this product that made it to the Oprah list, I remembered I had a friend that was mentoring me the entire time. And one day we sat at Milestone, and she said, Nadine, we have been meeting now for 3 sessions, and we now need to formalize our relationship. I was like, what? Formalize a relationship? But yeah, she's like, I've given you enough free advice. We now need to formalize this. And so I use that now. It's absolutely so brilliant. It's just so simple. I thought, yeah, you're right. And so we formalized that relationship. And now when I do coaching sessions, I talk about monetizing your brand. Do you know that one of the things that we notice when we ask Black women entrepreneurs, how much do you charge? There's always this song and dance. I don't know. And maybe, what do you think? You should pay me this. And not just Black women entrepreneurs. I find Black entrepreneurs. I had a gentleman that came and painted my walls, and I said to him, what's your rate? And he said he doesn't know I should give him what I think. I said, I think $1. That is what I think. He goes, you have a conscience. I said, I do have a conscience, but I'm also the head of a Black business professional organization, teaching people their value and their worth in their business. And you must come with a price. It took, he walked out the door, and I did not pay him. I was willing to interact the $1, but 3 days later, he sent me the price. And I thought, you now need to understand that your business has a value, and you have worth, and you need to be able to set your price. So if on the last day, I'm going to ask everybody their service list. I want you to be able to send me a 1-pager with your service offerings. Hetty, you'll send me your sauce, but everybody, we have to have our value, our pricing. If we don't know what we're worth, how's the other person going to know what to pay us? Just, they'll pay you $1, they'll pay you less. So it's really important that we monetize our brand, we know our worth, and we formalize relationships in business. So I'm going to go now to Makisha. Are you still here, Makisha? So maybe we've lost you.
No, I am. I'm here.
Okay.
All of a sudden, my kids came down, the husband came down, the water was running. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. No, it's all good. It's all good. You're here. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all of the information and everyone just sort of sharing. For me, I would really love assistance and guidance with a mentor. I believe that's what I would need to really take things to the next level. So for me, I'm a corporate event planner. I've always loved planning events. And only 3 years ago did I decide just to leave what I was doing, go back to school, and sort of pursue event planning as a company. So with that being said, maybe about 10 years ago, for fun, I just started a singles event where I would connect Black singles, and it was successful. I mean, I met my husband there. It's been 9 years that we've
There
been
you
married.
go.
There has been, and it was really just for fun because at the time I was doing hair and my male clients were like, Nikisha, I know you know people. I'm like, yeah, but and then my female clients were like, Nikisha, you gotta know a good man in the city. And I'm like, I guess, I don't know. So I mean, it really came from that hearing it day in and day out that clearly there is a need within our community of just finding good people. And I do believe even now that there are amazing men out there are amazing women out there, but it's really just about finding that platform where they can connect in a way that doesn't seem forced or awkward. And just, I was able to create that. So I'm now looking to rebrand, relaunch that business in this sort of very new and very fast social media world. But I want to do it correctly. I'm looking for longevity. I'm looking to build a business that will last. And I mean, I enjoy what I do for my 9 to 5 work. As I mentioned, I'm an event planner and I love what I do, but I'm an entrepreneur at heart. And I think that part of my sort of gap is really sort of putting all the pieces together. I've read about marketing, read about, doing your business plan, and I need someone to light some fire into my butt, right? Just to kind of go full steam ahead and do what you're called to do. So for me, when you ask the question, what can I help you with? I believe for me, I would love assistance with having a mentor to really push me and help and guide me in the right and correct way to truly build a business that there's longevity and something I love to do. So
So
that's
thank you for
me.
sharing that. And you're in the right place at the right time, because have you ever heard of this event called the BBPA Harry Drum Awards?
I have. My husband won it years ago when he was a high school student.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. Congratulations. This is so great. So we're about to start the 2021 BBPA Harry Drum Awards. And we do have an amazing lead event planner, but we're looking for support in other areas. So maybe part of the mentorship that I can offer you now is to invite you to participate in the planning of this year's BBPA Harry Drum Awards. And I'm one of the learners of that I like experiential learning. So I like to, as I'm being taught and I'm learning the theory, I'm doing the practice at the same time. So I could offer you an opportunity to work with our BBPA Harry Drum Awards. And when you're done, when it's done April 25th, it's April 17th, but the event always ends way after, right?
Yes.
You would then have this wonderful experience. You would have a great organization that you've done a stellar event with. And of course, you would have myself and Frederica and the team as your mentor, and you would be able to put this on your resume, which, anything you do for the BBP, you are bankable. You just become bankable, right, Uju?
Awesome. Always. You can take it to the bank.
Yes, absolutely.
I am saying 100% yes.
Yes,
I see she's about to give Bumble and the rest of them a run for their money. That's exciting. We need a Black-owned business in that space. Like,
absolutely, absolutely, yeah. So that's what I can do for you. That's what we can do for you, and all the networks that I bring to the table can do for you. And there's a wonderful question by Patrice. But Patrice, it's very. I want to think about what you're asking. You've asked a very important question, and if you would allow me the opportunity to take it back and just think about my response, and then I'll respond to you. So I hope that's okay. All right.
I do want to add though, sorry Nadine, before you go on, I shared a link. It's a Google form. I want to I hope that everyone can see it in the chat. I'm going to share it again, just so that please, when you can, if you can fill it like ASAP, please fill it so we can just track what you need, what your business needs. And it's easier for us. So instead of tracking comments here on the chat, we can track it, but it's just easier if you fill that form and everything, it's all there, like your name, your email, what your business is about, where you're located, and what you need. right? So I've shared that link again. Please, if you can, it's very beneficial to you so that we know what you need and we know the resource that we can connect you with to help.
Great. And then also I see a question from Julianne on tips on scaling a business. We're gonna give you that, you know, and we're gonna have takeaways for you to have. What I want to leave you with, two things. One, use your resources as much as you can. You know, a quick question. Everybody put up their hand. Who has a housekeeper? Who has a housekeeper? Put your hand up in the blue or the I'll try to do mine. Who has a housekeeper? I'm putting up my hand. Can you see mine? Yeah. So I think in the entire group, maybe 3 people has put up their hands to having a housekeeper. And so here's the value in the housekeeping. I remember many years ago, I went to a big seminar they had at the Toronto Convention Center, and a woman stood up and said, if you're cleaning your house still, and you're a business owner, it means that you're not really paying attention to where you should be, because you clean your house, but what is it? What is the cost of that? What is the cost of cleaning your house? And what does that really mean? You're taking away time, either whether it's self-care or putting your time into your business. So today I got home and I called Uju and I said, Uju, I'm not feeling so well. You know, I almost wanted to say I wasn't going to come, but I said to her, I'm just going to be at the top of the event. And I was feeling like blah, and then I don't have any orange juice, and I thought, oh, I have to go to the store. But I quickly remembered my daughter telling me about Uber groceries. So I went online and I ordered the groceries and I ordered the water and all the things that I need. And I thought I would have had to take like an hour, go to the grocery store, do all of this. And all I paid, you know, they charged $6, and then I gave a $10 tip. And I thought, for $16, I got my time back. That's why I have the energy to be here. So I think when we're building a business, we want to look at prioritizing what it is we spend time on and where the value is. So maybe it's not today or tomorrow you're all going to hire a housekeeper or get Uber to do your groceries, but just think about that opportunity cost of and what that investment could be for your business, especially as you grow. And then finally, because I believe marketing solves all problems, and one of the things that I recognized very early that changed the trajectory in my business was when I identified my brand as a persona, my company as a persona. What is my company? Who is it? Is it a her? Is it a him? Is it a they? What drives this company? How do they feel? I imagine that my business is a person. And if you experience my organization, Brand EQ, and even now the BBPA, it's like you're experiencing a person. It's not just a building with 4 walls. There's a vibe to how we present our brand. And that's what each and every one of us have to do. You know, Makisha, you, Shay, you, Nettie, same thing. Hetty, I keep saying, but you know, Nettie, your thing says Nettie, right?
I'm Nettie.
Yes. Okay. Oh, and then here's Hetty and Nettie. Okay.
There
So
is a Hetty, but I'm Nettie.
Yes, Nettie, exactly. Same thing. You know, what is the persona of your sauce? Your sauce is called non-joke, right? So what is that? How does non-joke look in the brand in the marketplace? And the moment you do that, that is what people will come to. That is what people will come to. It's not an easy way to find it, but what I'm hoping to do over the next 13 weeks is we'll come to some area where you can say, this is my brand persona. Who's got a great brand persona? Claudia, your car gal, Claudia, she really has her brand is that. And so we want to get to that for your respective industry. That's what we want to get to. And Dami, I can think about what your brand persona can be. I see it as clear as day. You know, so we're in the right space. We're all here as a support. We're going to learn, we're going to inspire, we're going to leverage and just connect and do awesome, great things together, because the future is ours. Despite what the numbers say, there's a big number when we look at white women businesses are in the trillions of dollars. Ladies, we can get there. We can get there. And so I want to thank you for being a part of this journey with us, and ask me anything. You know, if there's anything you want to ask me, don't feel it's too much. I'm an open book. You can ask me anything you want to know about business. You have a mentor here, you have a friend, you have an ally, and you have a supporter. So, use me wisely, and the organization and all the resources that we bring to the table. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadine.
I have a few questions before we wrap up for today. I see Mira's hand is raised. I see Melissa. I'm going to call her Melissa first because I think she sent me quite a number of messages. So Melissa, if you have a comment, please, or a question, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, ladies. Hello, queens. Hello, bosses and future bosses.
Hey, I like that
Yay,
intro.
yay.
Hello.
We receive it. We receive it. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you for holding this space for us to learn and educate ourselves. It's not easy, especially as Black women, to find the resources and navigate throughout. So I just want to say thank you for that. I am starting a business. It has not launched yet. I'm in the process of branding it. I am a birth worker, so I'm a doula, a childbirth educator, a
Oh, yeah.
practitioner, a breastfeeding consultant, and I
Nice.
also provide yoni steamings. And I would like, so I work corporately. However, through COVID, it has taught me that even though you are corporate and working for the government, you can lose your job. And everybody would say, you know, you work for the government, you have golden handcuffs. Well, the golden handcuffs came off in 2020. So also going through my own personal experiences, I fall into every category. So every title that I listed, I've had an issue in everything, which has brought me to want to serve my community. I've worked in shelters, so I see the need is there to support teen moms and young adults, as well as millennials and older women when they're birthing. And I don't necessarily feel like they have the resources, and I would like to be of service to them, because when I was going through my pregnancy and when I went through a loss, I did not have the resources. And even after, I did not know where to turn. So I am that for them. And I just want, I have a mentor in the doula world. However, I do not have a mentor in the marketing field. So I need someone that can coach me and mentor me on how to launch successfully and how to scale the business. So I definitely want to, if you guys can show me, you ladies, sorry, can show me how to achieve that, as well as I know in the coming weeks we have the grant writing and whatnot. So I definitely want to know how to snag the government's money and pour it back into my community is what I want to do. And I know with diversity inclusion, you know, I shouldn't only be serving Black, Indigenous people of color. However, that is who I am. That is who I see the need. I see the need for them, and that is who I'm going to serve. So any help would be greatly appreciated. And I thank you again.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Melissa. Mira, you're next.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me tonight. It's a great pleasure, and it was really, really, really interesting. Today, I'm here because I would like to start my own business on launching a website for furnished apartments. The thing is, like, I cannot get out of my way of thinking and overthinking, like a lot of stuff, like on my buying persona. Like, I identify two different type of customers, and I just want to have like more clarity. Like, if I have like a mentor that will guide me like through like the process on like better identifying like my own personas and how to monetize as well, because like that's one of my main issue is my idea is interesting. I run like some surveys. There is like some needs in there, but like, how do I get paid to do that? It's most likely like where I'm finding like the major pain points at this point. And on the technology part as well, like finding like the resources for the website and how to put everything together, pretty much.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for sharing that. Who else is next, Uju?
Thank you, Mira. I hope you filled the form though. Every single person raising their hands. I am taking notes, but please fill the form just so that we have one umbrella where I can track everything, okay? It just helps track it.
I will fill the form and put like some bullet points of like, where are my challenges?
Perfect, thank you. Jaisel, I hope I got that correctly.
Good evening, ladies. My name is Jaisel Murphy, and I am the owner and founder of Love Cleaning Residential. I started the business in 2018 based off of a need. there was a program I wanted to do. I was at the time living on welfare, so I didn't have very much money. I had about $50 to my name, and I needed to find a way to pay for a program that cost over $1,000. And so what I ended up doing was just going out and looking for opportunities. And one of those opportunities happened to be cleaning homes. And so I began cleaning homes. I had no idea I was so good at cleaning people's homes. I was getting 5-star ratings. Things were going really well. And I paid off the program sooner than I thought I would. And before I knew it, working with a coach, they suggested that maybe I start a business. And so I did. What was beautiful with the business, and Nadine, you really did hit that nail on the head when you spoke about having somebody come in and take care of the cleaning for you. The Caucasian persuasion, so to speak, has been, benefiting from services like this for generations. And it's no wonder why there's such a disparity between income growth. They have more time on their hands. They have people inside of their homes helping them, supporting them in ways that our community just doesn't. And so I really did identify these needs within our community. And so my focus with the cleaning business was helping our community see these things. And so a lot of my business was word of mouth. Of course, COVID hit and the lockdowns, kind of came up, and being able to go out and to support people in that way was no longer a viable option for my business. And so what I did was I took some of the professional development that I had been doing in the years that I was running the business and pivoted. And so now what I do is I function as a clutter coach, and I help people to release clutter from their space, to organize their homes. Our homes are now, right? We have, inside of our dining room, a classroom, and an office, and all sorts. So our spaces are now multi-usage spaces, and I help people to organize their spaces as well. So I'm a certified clutter coach, a professional cleaner and organizer, and I support our community in these ways. And I think really what I'm looking for right now is support in the way of marketing. So it's a whole new field. Most of my clients, as I said earlier, were by word of mouth. And now I need to be in the online spheres and tapping into my target market in those areas. I started a YouTube channel, and I've just refaced our website. Prior to that, I just worked fervently for 2 years in Wix, developing the website, and then I had an opportunity to work with someone. So that's now redone. And I'm also working on a book. It's called Dear Clutter. And I have some ideas with respects to marketing in that regard, but I'm really happy, I just want to say, to be a part of this group. And I hope to be able to work with everyone one-on-one to some degree.
Just hearing your ideas makes me excited. Just hearing, I can't believe, just the spectrum of businesses that are represented here blows my mind. I love it. And I'm just hoping and honestly believing that we'll be able to, through this program, support every single person. So if you haven't filled that form, please go fill it. JCL, please fill it, because me just taking notes and you speaking, I can't type fast enough, I can't write fast enough. But when you articulate your thoughts and put them in that form, we see what you represent, we see what your needs are. And just myself and Nadine, we're limited capacity, but then when we look through our network, there are people we can connect you with. So please, every single person, if you need help with something in your business, please fill the form. All right. And great job. I am so inspired by your business.
Absolutely. I know. Yeah. I've got clients for you, including myself. So.
That's why you have to speak up.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. So
exactly. And then we have Leslie. Leslie, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having this. I am definitely inspired and to be around the like-minded people who obviously want to grow and go somewhere. It's so hard sometimes to find people that you can grow with. So I'm glad that we all have this opportunity. So my daughter and I have a company. It is called K&L, which is our initials, Bottles and Beauties. We started it about 3 years ago, where we were just doing, we supply bartenders for different events. So people would have different events, whether it's private parties in their house, or whether it was festivals and stuff like that. They would use our company so that we can then hire the bartenders to facilitate the servicing of just drinks at their event. So it worked well. Then we, because they would only have to deal with me, they wouldn't have to worry about scheduling, paying people, anything like that. It was just a one-person contact, and we take care of everything else. Then we kind of expanded and we said, okay, we're also going to include bottle service girls because my daughter is younger. She's like in the 20s and everybody's buying bottles at the clubs. So we had trained people, and so we were doing bottle service as well. And then we even went into doing catering, not well, basically serving the food. So you would have the food brought, and then we have a service to serve your food, whether it's a sit-down dinner or buffet style. So that was all great. Everything was going well, as everybody else's business was going well. And then we had our 2020 year lined up with all different events, all different festivals across the spectrum, and then COVID hit. So being in the hospitality and entertainment industry, we obviously took a hard hit. Then we're like, okay, how can we rejig ourselves to kind of still be relevant and still offer a service? So then we got into a bottle delivery, and then we started doing like Father's Day packages, like baskets. We would put like drink packages together, and we would actually deliver the package. People can order it, and we would drop it at their father's house or whoever they wanted to's house. And so that went well. But then we just kind of died down, and then we just kind of like let it rest. So now that I'm here and I'm in this, I got kind of re-energized. Something that Lydia's mentioned is the contingency plan. Like, I mean, I guess something is like that should be something that we actually think about. That should be in our first thoughts of business plans, but it's actually not. I mean, we didn't have anything. We're going off the fly by our seat, just trying to like reinvent and to stay relevant. But I would need help with developing a contingency plan. Sorry, I had to write everything down. So contingency plan, and ideas how to incorporate technology. Although we are providing a service, is there a way that we can include some type of technology within our company to make whatever we provide easier? So there, maybe it's easier transactions, maybe it's like a tap and go or a service or something that we can offer. And then in regards to marketing, I kind of want to get specific because I do have a marketing background, but I kind of wanted to get more of, so not only networking, but like a geo marketing. So kind of like actually targeting different sectors within the community on how we should, or where we should be promoting. So that would also include, like, when you're on your Instagram or Facebook, you get these pop-up ads like from people's just random businesses, but sometimes they're not targeted properly. So I wanted to get kind of more specific as to how can you target your audience better? And then lastly, I obviously need help with presentations because I do presentations to promoters, to event owners. And a lot of the time I have problems presenting. So I would love to have like some type of coaching, some type of speech coaching. So that would be it. Thank you.
I know you're doing a good job right now.
No, I feel my voice, like I can feel it shaking. I get nervous inside. I hate talking. Like and then I start fumbling. So yeah, so any type of, thank you very much. And I don't have, so that, thank you. But yeah, I'd like to get more help with that.
Sure, and I've taken
notes. I hope you filled the form.
Yeah.
But yeah, great job. I would not have, I would have pictured that you'd say you needed speech coaching because you spoke so well. So great job.
Yeah. I think Hetty did have her hand up, or she did put her name. Hetty, did you put your name in? I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say something if you did. Okay. I could be wrong. Hetty, are you good? Okay, Uju, close her out.
We just have one more person, and that is Elodie.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay.
We have two people.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Elodie, go ahead.
Yeah. I waited the last minute to raise my hand. My sister talked, so I could not talk as well. She motivated me. So I had no.
Here?
Yeah, Mira.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I don't have a business per se, but I have an idea that I'm working on. Like, it's been maybe 3 months I'm working on with a friend. So what I want to do is to be able to have more like the voice and the face of Black professional, like Black successful people, or people with inspiring stories out there. So I'm working on a podcast with a friend that would be bilingual, so French and English. The focus would be like so Canadian and French people who are like who succeeded. My issue with this is I know there's like millions of podcasts like out there, but my focus is really because we don't see a lot of Black people. We don't like, we are nowhere to be seen. Like even like if just to be honest, like the BBPA, like it's by accident. I was looking for every Black thing possible on Eventbrite, and this is how I've learned about you. And so the help that I need is mostly for the operationalization, because I have a lot of ideas. I had a lot of ideas, but to put anything into action, I'm nowhere to be found. I have great advice to people. I talk a lot, but I don't do. So I need help in that. I don't know how to, if it's a mentor or I don't know.
Fantastic. You're in the right place then. So I've noted that. I hope you fill the form too, just so we can follow up. But yeah, this is the right place. And I'm sure I hope you were around from the very beginning of today in the course where Linda was talking about just the idea extraction. So I will share the deck after now just so that you can refresh. And then I'm sure by the end of the 13 weeks, your idea will be out in the market. And the last person is Jamila. Please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Good evening, sisters. Thank you so much. My sister actually told me about this. I believe she's in the chat, Top Scholars. So I just launched my business yesterday. So I have a lot of nervous energy, guys, so just bear with me. So I sell bath teas and facial steams, and the business is called Mila's Medleys. I got into this just because, especially, like I've always had an interest and a desire to, like I do facial steams on myself, and I've always had friends and family ask me like, can you make this for me? I have not been a big risk taker. So I decided this is my time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to launch it. So it's officially out on social media. And I know that I'm just kind of looking for any tidbits moving forward to build and maintain the brand. I have a daughter, so I'm definitely interested in generational wealth and just, yeah. I'm here to soak up everything.
Great. That's great. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're like 2 minutes out. We have quite a number of hands raised, but we're gonna keep that till next week. So yes, please expect my email to, I hope everyone registered via the Eventbrite because that's how I have your emails. If you somehow found the link through a friend, please register via the Eventbrite link so I can have access to all your emails, and then I can send the deck across to you. Within the deck is your assignment as well, so you will need to do it before next week. So yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for staying through to the very end. It's been incredible just listening to all your ideas, listening how far you've gone, how far you plan to go. It's very inspiring. And one thing that we had in the first cohort and second cohorts is we were kind of like a sisterhood here, like a family. So it's quite inspiring to see 2 sets of sisters already, or 3 sets in here. So yes, let's make it, by the end of this session or this program, we'll probably all be sisters already. So please share this link with your other friends and other neighbors that own businesses, just so that they can be a part of this and we can all learn and grow. Jamila talked about generational health, so it's not just our immediate family, but it's all our community together, right? So yeah, thank you so much. If I didn't get to your question, I'm sorry, but we will do that. We'll do this again next week, in addition to the facilitators that will be coming in Next week is business planning. You do not want to miss it, especially if your idea is still in the idea stage and you need that plan to push it out. So please come early. If I were you, I'll come grab my seat 10 minutes before it starts. So that said, have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.